What's up everybody, it's your friendly neighborhood blacksmith Levi, and today I'm going to be making a better version of this old thing. Now this is actually a gauntlet I made for a DC Talon cosplay I did a couple years back, and while I'm rather fond of it, from an armor standpoint, it's a total piece of crap. Weighs almost 5 pounds, there's no structure to it, just bending. Everything's riveted right to the glove, which is super bad for the glove and your hands, so I think we can do better. Now, I'm going to be making this one out of B8 bronze. Drum cymbals, and that's because bronze sheet is really expensive and I am really fond of my kidneys. So I went to a music store and got a couple of these for next to nothing. They do have small cracks in them, but I can always work around that. And I have no idea how to make armor, so I'm going to be learning as I go along and just forging any of the tools that I happen to need along the way. Oh, I didn't see you there. So, I think I've come up with something, and this could change as I go along, but so far, this is what I'm thinking. So now we just gotta make some templates. So, before I do anything else on these, I need to anneal them because they're really springy and work hardened from being hit with drumsticks all day. So, I'm gonna stick them in the forge for a few seconds and quench them and get them nice and soft. It's time to add a little bit of structure to these bad boys, and I've gone ahead and done one already. And what I'm doing is I'm creasing, I'm not fluting, which leaves me with this triangular cross section instead of like a exponential, like a curve. It's the worst example I could have given. To start these off, just bending them in the vise. Go in with a raising hammer with this nice narrow point on a stake, as well as the edge of your anvil, or in my case it's minus 35 degrees outside, so I don't want to be doing any cold work. And so I'm just going to use the edge of the vise. I don't want it to be crazy. See how that one's much deeper now than the others. I'm not going to anneal them again. I've gotten them like medium hardness, but it should be okay to continue and shape them the rest of the way, and that way it'll be nice and hard for the final assembly in the armor. A little too aggressive with my mallet a while back and I broke it. I kind of just haven't gotten around to making a new one, so I'm using a board. Well, I went ahead and filed in the final profile. That's looking quite nice. Now that everything is fitting together the way it's supposed to, and now I just gotta drill some holes for my sliding rivets. I really have to make a punch for this. Still gonna take a little bit of hitting while it's all together to really get it moving smoothly, but you can see we got some decent lateral movement here. Alright, so I have no idea what I'm going to do for this knuckle rider, but I got a piece, and I think I'm just going to shut up and get creative and see what happens. Hopefully it looks good. Probably a good idea to anneal this after that beating.
O Burns-O-Matic, TS 8006, why dost thou jiggle? Are thy fittings loose?
And I think I just created a new ocean in the shop. Oh boy, all over my sandpaper. Got my narrow stake here. It's a ribeye. I'm just kidding, it's a cold chisel. God, you're so stupid. Went ahead and just profile cut it and got it attached, and it is working pretty well. I'm getting a decent angle. Now it's on to the finger pieces.
Safety first.
Okay, so I lied. The fingers are not at all like the Knuckle Rider. Two of those faces are compound curves leading down to the tip, so they're curved in both directions. And one of those faces is flat, and it's kind of whole like a weird pyramid. I'm just gonna give it a shot. I have no idea how this is gonna go. So I've had a few complete learning experiences. I had a couple, but I think I've gotten it down. Right here you can see I've just got one roughed out, the 3 faces. This is what it will look like when it's done. It's pretty fantastic, actually. So I started shaping this bad boy, and a few things I've learned. If you have sticky outy bits, you want to curve them too, because if you just bend this thing, all of these parts, the wings, are just going to be flat but at an angle. So if you add a little bit of a curve to it, it looks really nice. And as for the points, you just sort of bend them up and away a little bit. In a way, I can move all the way in and take my arm up without it catching on my sleeve. So I've gone ahead and I've cut a bunch of slots in here, and that is so that I can silver solder these overlays on. No idea if this is going to work. It's my first time silver soldering. This project is just a whole lot of firsts for me. This is 45% silver, if anyone was wondering. Okay, full disclosure, silver soldering didn't work. The pieces just bowed apart and warped before the solder had a chance to melt. So I had a friend go ahead and actually just take them together, and that should work really nicely. If you're wondering why I didn't use rivets, that's just because I don't like how rivets look on this particular piece. But wait, we need to thank this video's sponsor. Just kidding, I don't have a sponsor. Let's get back. Is it just me, or does this look like a Pokemon? Somebody please tell me. Okay, this is the bit I'm most excited about. I get to do the repoussé. I've gone ahead and made a blob-like shape of my owl, as well as some mini cold chisels I made out of some sucker rod. And the best I understand it, I just fill this thing with pitch and push back certain spots until I get the shape I want. Sounds so easy when I say it right now. First pass is done. It looks quite rough. We got a couple little cave-ins, but not terrible. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, uh-oh. Oops. It never happened. Oh, shit. Ow. Oh, that bit's hot. Oh, my God. The hardest thing to do is actually the feathers. The face is actually quite a bit easier to define, but the feathers are just looking really sloppy and aren't easy to isolate, actually. So I'm gonna keep at it, maybe try a few things, make some new chisels. The nice thing about this is that anything I do, I can actually just undo. It's not like I'm cutting it or anything. I think I could go on for pretty much forever just trying to make this better, but I think I'm going to call it now. Luckily, the finger pieces don't actually have any hammer marks in them, so they're already actually quite smooth, and I can just stick some of this magic funky gunk on it and let it sit for a while, and then I can buff it, and it should be good to go. Never mind. $2,000 grit hand sand and a buff, and it is looking snazzy. Also, that took about 40-ish hours of hand sanding to get that thing done. Also, a liter of Windex, if anyone was wondering.
Justice, not vengeance. Justice, not vengeance.
Don't doubt your instincts.
And that about wraps it up. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end and for joining me on this fantastic build. I had a lot of fun. Please like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, what you think I can do better, and things you'd like to see in the future. I would love to continue making videos if anybody's interested and doing a lot more work at the forge. I got a lot of cool ideas of things I'd like to do that could be coming up here on the channel. And if enough people are interested and I can get enough drum cymbals, I'll make a whole suit of armor to go with that gauntlet. My Instagram is in the description below, and other than that, I'll see you in the next one.